All right, we are recording. So I am so excited to see so many of you on. I am Dory. I am a STAR director. I live in Delisle, just outside of Saskatoon. I am a busy mom. So if everybody can mute themselves, that would be fabulous.
Keep the pictures and some of the books and the rest of this.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you. Just unmute yourself if you have to want to ask a question. Not a problem. So, like I said, Tupperware works for me because it fits into my schedule, which is, I assume, is a huge help and the reason why you guys are here too. So, I am not by any means a Facebook guru, but I can follow instructions. What I mean by that is Crystal Tozak is an incredible human being, and she spent hours and hours and hours and literally broke down the Facebook party into every little step. And I am going to give you kind of just a quick gloss over of that. I can post, actually, I believe Lisa is going to post Crystal Tozak's training right in this event. If you have not watched it, I highly recommend you watch it. And all of the messages that I talk about, when it's the guest messages, the host messages, everything will be there. I am not recreating the wheel, but I am copying Crystal Tozak's key to success. And she is successful. So you create your group. That's pretty straightforward. You want, before I even create the group, obviously you've been chatting with your host. You want to make sure your host has all of the messages. Again, they're posted in the event. It gives you everything that you can do word for word. The more you can get your host engaged, the better off, right? When they can do some of the work, they can get people excited. They know their friends, they know their guests, they know what they like, they know what they want. It's going to help you help them, right? I hope that makes sense. So you have your host, you have them send out send out the messages to everybody. I highly recommend, can everybody mute, please? Everyone needs to send out private messages. By all means, you can have them post the party link on their Facebook wall saying, hey, I'm having a Tupperware party, come and join. But ultimately, you want private messages. Private messages are the key. I can't stress that enough. All of the magic during the party, after the party, it all comes from private messages. When I create my parties, I always create the party. You want to have like a fun name, like Sandra's hosting a 1-hour Tupperware party, February 3rd, 8 p.m. That's if you're doing the 1 hour. If you're doing, say, the 3-day option, then you're going to want to do, Sandra's fabulous Tupperware party, whatever. Like you want the name to be fun and catchy. You want the host name in the title, and you want Tupperware as well, so people know what the party is, right? You want to have a minimum of 20 guests in each party. More is merrier, right? The more people you have, the more successful it's going to be. So you want to have your host send out at least, 30 or more messages, right? And I get it. Nobody's going to sit there and send out 30 messages at a time. But they can do it in stages, right? And so I create the group, I have the host send the messages, and then I do nothing. You wait, right? Until, you get that magic number of 20. There's been times where I've only had, maybe 8 or 9 people in the party. I've postponed the party, right? My time is valuable. Their time is valuable. And when you explain to them that I'm sorry, we don't have enough hosts, we need to postpone, quite often it's going to get them a little bit more involved, and they're going to work that much harder to get that number of people. Everybody mute. All right. You want to make sure that your group is closed or private. The reason being, unless it's right from Tupperware, we can't post it socially. So quite often in a party, I'll do like a VIP post, join my VIP group, get a prize. Well, that's not technically, that's not sanctioned by Tupperware. So it needs to be in a private group, not social, not seen for the public to see, all right? That's not making sense. I'm not saying it how I want to, but you get my point. So long story short, group needs to be private. You'll see I am literally just going over Crystal's notes. Like I said, I'm not reinventing the wheel. When I used to do Facebook Scheduler, right? Before we all got on to the fantastic ScentShare. I do recommend that you make your posts, especially the pre-party posts. I only do like maybe every 2 or 3 hours. We don't want to overwhelm our guests, but we do want to keep them engaged. And then I slowly increase the amount of posts moving to party day. And then of course you do your 1 hour party hour, and you can have your posts, you know, anywhere from 3 minutes to 5 minutes, whatever you find works for you. Oh, another very, very important thing when I set up my group party, you do your announcement post. That's where, you know, thank you, Lisa, for hosting a party. If you have any questions, please contact me. And that's where I put my name, and it's highlighted, right? So they can just click on my name and it will take them to directly message me. I also talk about shipping there. I talk about shipping there, and can everybody please mute? I'm not sure why I can't mute all. Just gonna pause the recording. Okay. So in the announcement post, you know, you put your name, contact me, and then you want to talk about your shipping, and you'll talk about how shipping is $3.95 on all bulk orders sent to the host. But then you'll also talk about, should you need direct shipping or the shopping link, message me and I will provide it. You never want to post the Tupper Connect link in the party, and this is why. I go into every party with the aspiration of flipping the host. I hope everyone knows what I mean by flipping the host. I want that host on my team. So if I was to put the Tupper Connect link in the party and have 3 people order through the Tupper Connect link, when that host joins my team, I can't move those Tupper Connect orders to her or him. So what I will do is I have them comment or message me for the link. Another reason for doing that, when they message me asking for the link, I can then strike up a conversation with them and ask them like, hey, what are you interested in? What are you getting? Well, if they say they're going to order the Power Chef, I am going to say, well, oh my gosh, the Power Chef, of course, it is amazing. Everyone needs one. And absolutely, you can buy it for $85. Or did you know for like $44 more or whatever, yeah, $44 more, you can add, you know, lunches, vet and serve, blah, 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 everything in the deluxe membership kit. Who's not going to want $530 worth of Tupperware for $129, right? Especially if they were already willing to pay $85 for just the Power Chef. Of course, over and above that, you're going to get the 25% discount. You're going to get the incredible samples. Like, it's just a win-win. But it all started because you had them come to you, right? So you could make that conversation, or you could start that conversation. You could build that relationship. Now, of course, when people comment, or sorry, when people message you, you don't want to like pounce on them. It is a relationship business. So you want to be like, oh, hey, you know, how are you? Like, strike up a little bit of a conversation, right? It's going to take a little bit longer, but it's going to go, it's going to be so well worth it in the long run, right? I know you've all heard it, and you'll continue to hear it for the rest of your Tupperware career. This is a relationship business. And so that is very, very important. So no Tupper Connect link in your party. So I do tag using CinchShare. It's a little bit different now. So when I post my party through CinchShare, I know that I'm going to have a game coming at, say, 11 a.m. and another game coming at 2 p.m., maybe another one at 6 p.m. If I have a lot of people in my party and a lot of engagement, I play a lot of a lot of games. So with CinchShare, you can't tag your party guests when you post your parties, but I just set a reminder on my phone. And at 11 a.m., I go into my party, I edit my post, and I tag my people. I tag my people in my business building posts. That's, for me, that's my games. That's any posts about the kit, any posts about the welcome offer. Those are kind of like your ultimate, right? Another thing I should mention too, that when I create my group, before I invite my host, I make albums. I have an album for the catalog. I have an album for the brochure. I have an album for the host rewards, and I have an album for the samples. And because I'm posting the samples, you absolutely have to have your group private, right? We can't post samples publicly. And in my announcement post, I will also say, you know, make sure you check out albums. And then once people start joining, one of my first posts is just a simple post. You know, posts will be coming over the next few days. Please take a minute and look through the albums. As people are looking through the albums, they're not only going to see the awesome host rewards and everything that's on sale, etc. They're going to see the samples. They're going to see the price of the samples, and they're going to ask questions. So when they ask you those questions, they come to you, you can strike up a conversation. Samples and PowerChef, two of your biggest recruiting tips right there. What's the matter, Stephanie? So now I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. Oh, so tag in your business builder post. If the host is having a tough time getting people to join, get them to, you know, send out some more personal messages. Personal messages are number one. They are key. Remind your host too that because of the amazing Tupper Connect, we can send orders anywhere in Canada. So they don't have to be local to them, you know, like a house party where they would be your, you know, your friends and neighbors and your, you know, 50-mile radius or whatever. With Tupper Connect, they can be anywhere and everywhere. Oh yes, showing your host how to see the invited list is important too, because then they can see who has and hasn't joined. If they haven't joined, they can send them a little, you know, reminder message and be like, hey, party starting in a couple days, or whatever wording you want to choose. Remember, we don't have to just use Facebook. People can also text and call their party people as well. So I went over the announcement post. Long story short is kind of just a quick breakdown of how the party is going to work with your pre-party dates, your power hour if you're doing the 1 hour, and then your day after post, as well as the shipping information, and of course your name highlighted so it's easy for them to click on and get back to you. One of the most important things aside from personal messages in a party, going live. Live videos are amazing. I can't stress this enough. I feel like probably 85% of my business is from lives. They don't have to be huge. They don't have to be extravagant, but they do need to show your customers how they work. When people hear Tupperware, they typically think bowls, modular mate, right? You don't instantly think PowerChef. And I know I keep coming back to the PowerChef, but it truly is amazing. And it's one of those things that you need to see to understand how amazing it is. right? Right now, we can't go to our friends and, show them how amazing it is. So our live is how we can get into everybody's kitchens, right? For example, on Saturday, my daughter made dill pickle dip with me, and I had a woman message me. She's like, okay, now I need that Power Chef, right? So, and it was all because of the live and the dill pickle dip, which is amazing. If you're not comfortable going live, you don't have to show your face to begin with, right? Like just show the Power Chef. As you do it more, as you get more comfortable, it will come, I promise. But again, I can't stress enough how important that is. Another thing with your lives, if you're really, really uncertain, make sure you just have a little piece of paper with like a few key notes, so that if you lose your train of thought, whatever, you can just glance at that piece of paper and be like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Or like I said, I have my daughter with me. Have your kids use it. People love to see like how easy it is. If a 3-year-old can operate it, anyone can, right? So I like to do just kind of an intro, right? Introduce myself live at the beginning of the party after everyone has joined. Just, a big thank you to your host, explain how fun it's going to be. I try to do live a day. Sometimes that's easier said than done because we might have multiple parties going. If that's the case, I will try to do like a 3 or 4 part live, where I'll go live in one group and then share that video to the others. And then part 2, I'll do in the next group and share, etc. You get the point. And they don't have to be long. I really, really like to focus on the Power Chef and the Say Yes. The Say Yes right now is a little more difficult to, show in a live. That's why I focus more on the Power Chef and the kit items. Breakfast maker, that's also another huge, awesome one to demo live, and easy, right? Because it's so versatile. Another cool thing about going live is that when you go live, absolutely everyone in the party gets notification. Even people who haven't accepted the invite, I do believe that they will get a notification that you have went live. So before you go live, you want to make sure that you have like a fun, catchy phrase like world's best dill pickle dip, or, world dill pickle dip, 4 ingredients, like whatever you find is catchy. And then they're going to have that notification pop up, and that's going to make them want to hop on and see what you're doing. So again, can't stress that enough. You're going to want to make sure that you let your people know to refresh often, right? Because you're going to be posting frequently and to come back. Games are crucial for me and my Facebook parties. Every game winner is not random. They are selected. It's somebody who hasn't placed an order yet, or maybe it's somebody who has sent me a message asking about a membership kit but hasn't committed. It's very specific who I choose for my game winners. And I like to offer 3 different game options. You don't have to do this, but this is what I have found great success with. There's also a bunch of different messages in Crystal's training too that you can look through. I'm not going to go over that. I'm just going to tell you what I do right now, which is kind of similar to Crystal's. I give 3 options. Option number 1, it can be like a 5% discount if you want. I say a small piece of Tupperware with your order. Small and with your order are the 2 most important things, because it's not real exciting, but it also lets them know that they have to place an order. We want them to place an order because that's going to build our sales and boost our host rewards, right? That's why we're here. That's what we're doing. Number 2, this is where you can use your preference. I have quite a bit of stock, and especially if they're local to me, I will offer a 50% or a $50 surprise pack to host their own Facebook party. Or if you have Party Pool, use your party pool and you can offer them a 25, a 50, or even $100 party starter, right? And then you can be like, if you're going to do the party starter, you could also be sending your host a message like, hey, I have $100 party starter. You're already that much closer to earning those fabulous rewards. You know, what do you say? Why don't we party? You know, something like that. Another great way to utilize that. And then number 3, and again, this is just what I do. You don't have to do it, is I offer a discount on the membership bundle. So, you know, it can be a $5, it can be whatever you're comfortable with, but I offer them that. I can put that wording if anybody wants later too. And then when it comes to guest messages, I like to welcome everybody as they're joining the party. And if I do it right away when they join, it's not overwhelming because you're just doing a couple messages here and there, right? Very seldomly are 20 people going to join in 5 minutes kind of thing. This way, you want to get them messaging you right away so that they're going to see your important messages, you know, when they win a game, or when you message them at the end of the party that, you know, the party is about to close, or if they have any questions, that sort of thing. Another really, really important thing that I found that helped with the messages is the way Facebook is working right now. We can send a message to somebody who's not on our friends list, and it's going to get lost in Never Never Land, right? We've all had messages not read. So what I'd like to do, and I'll do it at the start of the party too, because it opens up the door, then it gives people time to see your message, is I will message my host and let them know that their inbox is going to blow up for a bit. And I will create group chats with the host and each guest. So say Sandra is the host, Sandra and Mary are my first little group for messaging, Sandra and Heather, and so forth. When the host is included in the guest message, because the host is friends with them, the guest is going to see the message. It's not going to get lost in La La Land. That makes sense? And I'm not reading the chat. So Stephanie, would you mind if there's something really good, just let me know. I mean, I'm sure it's all good. Okay, and then another fabulous tip from Crystal, as well as another director, Jennifer. She created this amazing 2-price option sheet. It is posted in the event. I didn't print mine off with me, so I'm sorry, I apologize for that, but it is in the event. Basically what it is on the top of the page, it's your guest's order. So if they order, you know, a shaker cup, a Fridge Smart set, it's all there, and the retail price. The bottom half of the sheet is their retail order less 25%, and then you can choose to add, say, one of the membership bundles, like the virtual kit, if you choose. I'll have to read that story. It shows them the 2 different prices between the retail as well as consultant. And that's a huge one, right? Yes, you're going to forgo your 25% commission, but you're going to invite a new person to your team, right? So that is a huge one. That is very, very important. You want to make sure and send a message to every guest the last day, letting know the party is ending. You want to make sure and try to close all of your parties, or say that your parties are closing on noon. Inevitably, there's always a couple last minute shoppers, right? So you say the party closes at noon, 2 o'clock, you get a message, oh, hey, can I add blah, blah, blah. Well, of course you can, because you haven't closed the party. And then that gives the host the opportunity over the afternoon as well to look at what they might choose for their rewards. So another thing too is that while all of these sales are coming in, you can be, you know, pumping up your host and Oh my gosh, I have 200, or you have $200 in sales. Oh my gosh, you have $400 in sales. Oh my gosh, you have $700 in sales. Because I haven't put any of those orders through on a Tepper Connect link, I can now use those sales to flip my host, right? I can be like, hey, if you were to purchase this bundle, look at everything that you're going to earn. You've already got a great start on the Confident Start program. The Confident Start program is huge. It's amazing. It's a lot of Tupperware for free. And if they have $600 or $700 in sales already, they're halfway to an $80 credit, right? So that is huge. Posting thank yous in a party. It's just really nice. Everybody likes to be recognized, right? Everybody likes to be have some recognition. So I like to post. There's so many different graphics in TOTL, or you can make your own too. Post a little thank you, and then have the host also thank you or thank them. So I already kind of briefly touched on or talked about recruiting the host. That ultimately is goal number one, right? I go into every party with the aspiration of having the host join. They're going to come to your team, and they're going to bring all of their friends and family to your team as well, which is huge. And like I said before, so you want to have a minimum of 20 people in your group. If you don't have 20 people, if you only have 8 people, well, I'm not saying that it won't be successful, but it's less likely to be successful. There's a reason why the saying is more the merrier, right? You want to have at least 20 people. Your time is valuable. You have things you could be doing. You want it to be worthwhile. 15 in your party is a great start for sure. Your party isn't until Thursday. Have your host send out a few more messages. But if you only have, say, 7 or 8 people, postpone, right? It's not worth your time. It's okay to say not right now. Like, say your party is supposed to start on Wednesday. There's only 7 people. Of course, you're going to be messaging your host like, please, send out this message. Again, Crystal has all of the messages written down, all of the wording for you. Have them text, whatever. And if there still isn't anyone, joining, postpone it. Say, okay, I'm sorry. Obviously, this just isn't the right time. How about we postpone for, 4 days, 5 days, a week, whatever you choose. But it is okay to postpone. I wouldn't cancel, because by postponing, your host is gonna, maybe they've got a lot going on at that particular moment in their life, and they just need a couple days. So by postponing it, they're gonna find some more time. They're gonna make it more of a priority. They're gonna get more people invited, and it's gonna be more successful for them and you in the long run, right? Another thing that I highly recommend, make sure that if you're not flipping your host, you want to enjoy or want to include everybody in your VIP group, right? Make sure you're posting for them to come to your VIP group. I quite often, will offer maybe a bit of a discount or a prize, whatever you're comfortable with. It's your business, that's your choice, right? But that's a really, really great way to increase your VIP group. It's been said, there is one Heather just mentioned in the chat about inviting a friend. Have a friend invite a friend. That is huge. That is a great way to grow. Ultimately, partying is about, growing our business. And in a party is a great way to expand your customer circle, your customer base, right? If the host does flip, though, I shouldn't say if, when the host does flip, I recommend that they take their launch party or thank you party, however you want to word it, and that now has become their VIP group. And that is double fold. Part of the reason is because they've already got their friends in there. they've already got their families in there. You have the albums in there, like you've kind of given them the structure for it already. And it's a great place for them to now start adding their people and their, people from parties, etc. So it helps them. So there is the two different types of Facebook party. Of course, there's the 1 hour party, there's a 3 hour party. I've had great luck with both. So I really, really love that it gives us that option. One thing I recommend, whether you're doing a 1 hour party or a 3 hour party, is that every game you want to, game time, or if you want to number your games, but I always make sure that I have game in the title. The reason being is that when I go back, 2-3 days later, and I want to pick my winners, all I have to do is put game in the search bar and they all pop up, right? So it makes my life easier. Also, I like to do a post just before the party ends, saying, games are open until, and just put game in the search bar and you will find all the games. So it also helps our guests find the games as well, because, people join our parties late or whatever the case may be. That kind of is it. That's a really, really quick overture of the Facebook party. Again, like I said, if you haven't read or watched Crystal's training, I can post the link in the event. Please watch it. It is a game changer. Everything that I said here is nothing new. I can't take credit for this. I didn't come up with this. Crystal is brilliant. I am just emulating her success. I have had great success in my parties using hers. Yes, a post topic for each game so everyone can find them easier. Thank you. That is pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions? I'm just going to take a peek at the chat.
I have a question. This is Trudy.
Hey, Trudy.
When you said that to give someone a discount on the kit or for them join, how would you give that discount?
Well, typically people will e-transfer me. So then I just put in the difference, if that makes sense.
But if they wanted to join with a credit card, would you just give them a discount or a gift or something? Or
yeah. Or yeah, whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on the chat here. I just reading this one from Sam where they enjoy going live. Your house is always loud. That's fair. One of my very first, probably my second live that I ever did, my daughter was about 8 months old. She was teething. She was miserable. I had a dog barking in the background. I had my then 4-year-old standing in front of me picking his nose. And I had my other guy like sticking his hand in the food, right? So it wasn't classy. It wasn't perfect, but you know what? It was real life. In that moment, I chose to embrace it. And for me personally, I felt like it showed real life, right? Like most of the people that we're talking to when we're doing our lives are busy moms. They're football moms, they're hockey moms, they're soccer moms, or they're swimming, whatever, right? Like we're all busy, but this showed, if I can do it with a kid screaming on my hip, one picking his nose and one sticking his finger in the food, anyone can do it. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions that we and the pressure that we put on ourselves is that it has to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody knows except for us what we had envisioned in our mind when we came up with this live, right? I honestly think that the quote unquote mistakes make it perfect. I truly do. I truly believe that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be you, right? Your friends and family want to see you. They want to see your kids. They want to see how you interact. My daughter is a sassy little thing, right? And people watch just to see what's going to come out of that little girl's mouth next, right? And that's okay. That's why we do it. Great idea adding the host to the chat. Yes. I can't take credit for that. That again was Crystal at Sprinkling. She's incredible.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Hi, I'm new. But I used to sell Tupperware back in the 90s. Yes, I'm old.
Well, welcome back.
Anyway, I need a job too. Don't be looking. Anyway, so I find it really strange. I only had like one party, and my manager helped me with it. Well, she kind of did it for me because, but it was so strange being like not being able to talk and show the product to the people, where I just, it's so different. And I'm sure maybe it happened. Has everybody ever done a Zoom party, or is that possible? Or
I was actually just going to mention that to you. I have done Zoom parties. Absolutely.
Okay.
They're amazing. You
Okay.
get to interact. So it's kind of like you're all sitting together in your living room.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
By all means.
Get
So-
them drunk and they buy more and it'll be all good.
Right?
Just
Heck no, that is
that's
brilliant. And again, remember, it's your business, so you can do with it what makes you feel comfortable. Absolutely. I love it.
I really and truly would not know how to do it, but it's something that I'm gonna look in and try to maybe
So what
investigate more.
I would recommend then, like I'm not a techie person at all. What I would recommend is maybe your manager is a bit more techie than you are. They can help you
Yep.
set up the Zoom, and you know, you can have your friends on, and then you can do the demos, you can talk in, and then, you know, your recruiter or manager can, you know, maybe help you if you need.
Okay, and one more quick question. As far as the game prizes go, so do you send a notification? Because I know nothing comes to the house. Well, sometimes it comes to the house and it's locally dispersed, but for outside orders, like I did a party down Cape Breton, so I'm not close enough to give out. So I just bought a bag and sent it down. Is that's okay? Okay.
Like you you mean you added poly bags to the order for the host to separate? Is that what you're saying?
No, a game. Sorry, game pieces. The games. Do you send game prizes out?
Yeah, one thing you can
Sorry.
add. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I will typically send game prizes out for sure.
Okay. Okay, great. John, no, and they just tell. So you tell the hostess who won prize. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you. This was really interesting and very helpful. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for hopping on. All right. Is there any more questions? If not, I will let you guys get on with the rest of your evening because it looks like my internet is being stubborn. I don't know if any of you can see me, but it looks like we froze.
We can still see you.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You are all completely frozen and it was dead quiet. So I was like, and I just had a notification pop up about my internet. So I apologize. Joys of rural Saskatchewan, right? Yeah, so is there any other questions? If not, I will let you get on with the rest of your evening.
I just want to thank you. just want to thank you for posting this, because I got some good information tonight.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That was my hopes, that somebody could at least have one good takeaway. And you know what would be really, really awesome? Thank you for bringing that up. Even if you wanted to go on TOTL and post one of your takeaways, right? And then I would love to see what your takeaway is and what you got from this.
TOTL what?
So top of the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Jennifer Perry.
Well, my name is actually Dory Simino. I should have changed it. I forgot to rename it. I borrow her here. I should have done this earlier, but again, I
Okay.
apologize. We've had a rough day here. We
Okay.
had some bad news, so I am not at the top of my game, so I apologize.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
It is what it is, but that's the great
I
thing
hope
about
everything's
Tupperware,
gonna be
that
okay.
it gives me something to focus on, right?
Yeah. Well, I hope tonight the rest of it goes better.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there
All right.
anything else that I can help any? What can help, or any other questions?
Hi,
I have a-
so sorry.
No, go ahead.
Mine is just going really quick. My name is Deanna, and in regards to the like the games and the gifts for the participants and the host,
Mhm.
one of the things that my upline does is she gives them 3 options.
Mhm.
A small gift with their order, a $25 surprise pack of Tupperware with a Facebook party. So that's like for dating parties,
Mhm.
opportunity to date parties. And then $10 off any discount memberships for any of these. You can have 25 to 70% off of Tupperware for a year. There's no commitment there. And or she also just for like to get those recruits in
Mhm.
to like pay for the $20 membership with like the commission. Like the first party that I did, I've only done 2 parties, like one on my own and one was a relaunch just last week. And the first one, I really struggled with it because I wasn't very great at doing the orders just yet. And I struggled with, it was almost like I lost money with it because I offered like a 25% discount, like for some of the people that won the games. So it kind of like really put me at a disadvantage. And when I asked for help in TOTL, this one kind lady, I think she was from Ontario,
Mhm.
suggested buying citrus peelers. I think you can get 10 in a pack for about $2.
Mhm.
And about a week and a half ago, I went on to TOTL shop and I bought those postcards, like what you could use
Mhm.
the citrus peelers for. So with the party that I just did and the orders that I'm going to be sending out once they come in, I'm going to incorporate like these little tiny gifts like the citrus peelers, and I did order some like magnets and keychains. So
Oh, I love that.
I think that would be a good idea, just like for the for the prizes, just to have like that opportunity to date parties and to kind of like join Tupperware.
That is a great thing to bring up, is the citrus peeler. The citrus peeler is incredible, and especially when you get that little postcard from the top of the line store with the 101 uses. Thank you for bringing that up, Tiana. I really appreciate that. That is smart, and that is a very low cost
Thank
way.
you.
Oh, no, absolutely. You're welcome. I love that. I love that you shared that. That is a great tip. Anyone else?
I've
you.
handed out so many so far and they worked. I've done what Deanna said and it worked really well.
With
handing
the
out the cards with
101.
the citrus peelings. I had to order. Well, I think it says 15 or something, but yeah. So I ordered some more so I could get some more ready to put in my purse, have them in my purse all the time.
That is the sign of a true Tupperware lady, when you always have your card, catalog, and citrus peeler on hand. That's awesome. I love it.
I sold Tupperware back in the 80s.
Oh, really?
I have another suggestion, Patricia.
Sure.
Yeah, really.
Oh, sorry. Sorry for jumping in. I have another suggestion, and I know it's around Christmas time and Halloween. I do it. I'm only 7 months in, and I just recently became a manager, but I always stock up tiny treasures. So any tiny treasures for around Halloween. I make little Ziploc bags with each bag has a tiny treasure, a small sucker, a chocolate bar, or whatever it might be, with my business card. And so tiny treasure, business card, catalog. I can't remember, there's one more thing. Anyway, there's 3 or 4 different things I put in, and the catalog, obviously I don't put in, but I ask everybody that I am a Tupperware rep, and if you're interested in the catalog, you can have one. So yeah, I put a little card in the baggie that says 10% off your first order. Or $5 off your next order. Let me know, send me a picture when you're ready to place an order. Send me a picture of the card that I sent you, so I know that I sent it to them. I gave it to them at Halloween. So send me a picture of that with the package or whatever, at least the card, so I know it's right. And I'll give them $10 off for whatever it is. And if they book a party, I'll put some party points into their party to help succeed it.
Okay, I love that. That is a great idea.
And then at Christmas time, I send everybody in. Yeah. So, and then at Christmas time, what I did, well, it's my first year. I went through my VIP list. So everybody in my VIP list, I sent out a $10, between $5 and $10. So I went between 2 of them. I put away $200 and saved up, and I just had it in my savings just in case people contacted me with orders. So I had that money aside. And so I did $10, and then some of them I did $5. The ones that did place orders through my VIP got 10. The ones that didn't place orders, I gave them 5 for the most part. And so then I gave them the whole month and a half to place orders. If you're in my VIP group, you get this as your Christmas gift instead of me sending out business cards and whatnot, because that is expensive. So I figured, why not send them a private message with a little made up card or write up, whatever. $5, $10 off. You book a party through me, you can get this much party points towards your party, kind of thing, and hope for the best that way.
Awesome.
Because I know a
is
lot of people
idea.
probably yeah. I know a lot of people will send out like actual postcards and whatnot, but when I looked into it and I looked at the price, the shipping, everything, and sending everything out with the stamps, I was like, yeah, it's not worth it. It's better for me to send out messages, $5, $10 off for orders versus mailing things out.
Okay. Actually, Stephanie, you're still on. Can I kind of throw you under the bus here? Can you talk about the code? You said you could give them a code when using Tupper Connect.
Yeah, it's actually on TOTL. It's the gift code that you add. You can add it their Tupper Connecting, or you can add it per order. I just noticed that Heather Drysdale, I'm throwing her under the bus now too, mentioned that it's in the short-term ads and banners album as well. So I just like to throw everyone under the bus as we're going. So I will try and pull up the image and put that in the group.
Awesome. Thank you
I
so
have
much.
never heard of it. I was gonna ask. I've never heard that code because I see it in the Tupper Connect link, but I've